only 10% of the world's population lived in cities. Now, want a breath of fresh air? Don't bother stepping outside. I'm David Jackson, and this is Gridlock.
Today, more than half of the world's 6.4 billion people live in urban areas. In this urbanising world, cities like Brisbane hold the key to achieving a sustainable balance between consumer lifestyle and a good, healthy living. We can go on commercialising our inner city, or we can search for other alternatives. China, for instance, has reported 3 million deaths from urban air pollution in just 2 years, much of this from the increasing reliance on the motor vehicle. Research shows that changes are needed to make cities and the vast areas they affect better for both people and the planet. This story looks at traffic management. Most Australians, and particularly Queenslanders, shun buses and trains and rely on their cars for transport. With rapid increases in population and limited resources, capital cities like Brisbane experience commuter gridlock. How does this manifest itself? Drivers leaving the city between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. crawl along arterial roads at a snail-like pace of 18 kilometres per hour. And the morning is no different. The average speed on those same roads is just 21.9 kilometres per hour. Throughout the city, the peak congestion times are increasing, and the number of roads affected is also growing. Soon, Brisbane will have the most congested roads in Australia.
The average commuter spends at least 4 hours driving to and from work each week. For some, it is much more. This travel time equates to 25 working days each year.
Research has also found that long periods of commuting damaged physical and emotional health, relationships, and work performance. For example, 1 in 5 fathers will spend more time getting to and from work than he does with his children. Commuting extends the negative impact of long work hours and the stress on family lives. The strain of journeys that are long, unpredictable, congested or polluted take a toll on individuals and their relationships. They come home late, grumpy and worn out, with little physical or emotional energy. About 10% of parents spend between 10 and 15 hours a week getting between home and work. Those who work the longest hours also spend the most time in the car, as do those who live in higher socio-economic areas and on high wages.
If costed out at work rates, the time spent travelling to and from work would average out to around $85 per week, giving you a grand total of around $4,000 each year.
The increase in time people spend travelling to and from work is a profound transformation in our working lives. Shift work has increased and shopping hours have been extended. Both of these issues have impacted job security, social life, and given rise to a 24-hour availability in the workplace. Many also view the additional travel time as an unpaid extension of the working day. More than 80% of Queenslanders commute by car, and private vehicle use has risen by nearly 50% in the past 25 years, and the growth continues. The ramifications of this growth include frustration, nervousness and irritability, which can all lead to poor health and the increased risk of heart attack.
So, where does this issue lead? With the dramatic increase in population in cities like Brisbane, bring with it awesome responsibilities.
As a result of increased traffic, we suffer gridlock, which in turn reflects on our work and health, and so the cycle continues. Our families suffer and we socialise less. In high commute communities, there is less time for friends and neighbours, and individual households are isolated.
Other than closing the borders to interstate migration and tourism, what is the solution? Can we solve the problem with money alone? Or are we destined to repeat the errors of other cities, both here and abroad?
What we can't do is nothing. Road rage, heart attack, isolation, extended travel times, unpaid work are all symptoms of rapid and uncontrolled traffic growth.
What you can do is get off your butt and be heard. If you suffer gridlock each day, let your local politician know.
If you really want to make an impact, create your own Gridlock web page. Most ISPs give you at least 10 megabytes of free space, and every time you send an email, simply attach your link. This is an effective way to make your feelings known to those who can act. And remember, stay clear of gridlock and the road to ruin.